Oh, the penultimate day of the Boxing Day test. Day 4, the day where we'll probably decide who has a chance of winning this game. If New Zealand can bat out, a couple of sessions and get them a lead of 300 plus, they're probably the only side that can win the game. If Australia can keep that lead underneath 300, they have a bit of a sniff and a chance at winning it. New Zealand, of course, 4 down at stumps yesterday. BJ Watling and Ross Taylor put on a 35-run partnership last night before they've come to the crease this morning. Oh, that's some poor fielding there from Jimmy Pattinson. So Australia looking for early wickets today. That's what they need. So far, they haven't got it in the first few overs. They're desperate for something to break this partnership because once they get through this one, they'd feel like they're into the tail. You've got Santner and then the remaining quicks. At least I think that's what's to come next anyway. Obviously, it'll be number 7 in next. So that would be the Australian goal. 100 up for New Zealand. Lead now 212. As well as Watling and Taylor. This partnership got to be worth at least 50 at this point in time. So pick up a couple more. Cummins throwing it in from the deep. Also, apologies if today's video is a bit long. There's a lot. There's a lot that goes on in it. So I've tried to get everything in as minimal as possible without too many issues. Oh, this is a run out. It is indeed. Ross Taylor run out at the bowler's end. Pat Cummins whipping the bails off. And it's the wicket Australia was desperately looking for. Gee, it's a great throw. Cummins did not need to do anything really. Just pick it up, whip the stumps off. And it's goodbye to Ross Taylor. So that's the 3rd run out, I think, in the 5 wickets that have fallen here for New Zealand. Ross Taylor goes for 43. They're running between wickets. This innings has been, well, poor, to be honest. It's been no good. Colin de Grandhomme is in at the middle with BJ Watling as they get some handy wides from a short ball from Cummins. And I suppose Australia, maybe they feel like they're probably in the tail. You feel like you'd be in the tail with de Grandhomme in. You've got a little bit to do. Oh, that's a bit of a shout here from Lyon. I reckon this is very, very close. Very, very close. So Australia, they're going to review this one. This would be a big wicket to get to. I think it is BJ Watling on strike here. So given not out, will need to be 3 reds to be given out. No bat involved. Pitching in line. Impact in line. Oh, gee, it looks close, doesn't it? Wickets missing, just turning a hint too much. So Australia lose that review. Unable to get the wicket there. Oh, this is a chance now. An inside edge onto the pad. Tim Payne running to it. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Australia get the wicket of Colin de Grandhomme. Nathan Lyon, the bowler. Tim Payne with a really good bit of wicket keeping. Some quick movements. A little bit of minor teleportation as well. But he got there in the end. And Australia gets a 2nd wicket in pretty quick time. New Zealand 6 down for 126. Now the tail. Mitchell Santner, probably the first official tail member, I suppose. Even though he's technically an all-rounder, Australia would fancy their chances in getting them out. But this man, BJ Watling, he's going to have a little bit of a role to play now for New Zealand. How many runs can they pile on and push this lead up any further? That's another wicket, though, for Nathan Lyon. Mitchell Santner this time doesn't stick around at the crease very long. Lyon gets his man. Santner goes for a duck. New Zealand 7 for 133. Neil Wagner now out in the middle. We know he's a fighter, but lacks, obviously, a heap of skill with the bat. Lead currently 240. If Australia get these wickets quick, smart, they might even be able to restrict that lead under 250. At first, they'll be wanting to keep it under 300 and just getting these wickets ball by ball. Oh, a bit of a shout here. Onto the pad, over the top. Not out. So nothing doing there. As BJ Watling continues to play shots, try and keep this run rate ticking up. Keep this lead ticking up. So they pick up 4 here. Lead up to 248. Direct hit from out in the deep there. Not bad. Oh, that's not a bad shot from Wagner either. Gets it through the covers. You can see Nathan Lyon exhausted. But he's good enough to get the throw in. This is going to be a... Oh, dear. What has happened here? I want to see this on a replay because they were just in all sorts. They went yes, no, yes, no, yes. And in the end, it was just who's going to be the one getting out? And it was Wagner in the end. Goes for 7. New Zealand now 8 for 144. Their 4th run out. That's quite incredible, really. 4 run outs out of 8 wickets so far that have fallen for New Zealand in this innings. That one Nathan Lyon again, really, with the powerful throw in to secure the wicket. So it's Tim Southee and BJ Watling out there in the middle, as Watling probably should bring up his half century. He's played pretty well. So take him to 47. They might turn and come back for 4, make that 48. There's no chance of him running 5, is there? Or they thought about it. Jeez, the amount of run-outs, you'd hope not. So 150 up for New Zealand, lead up to 257. Labuschagne into the attack. And almost immediately gets the wicket of Tim Southee. So Southee's gone for a duck off a couple of balls. He's spent 2 balls at the crease. New Zealand 9 for 150. Labuschagne's come into the attack and he's got a wicket very early on. There you go. Trent bowled out in the middle now. Mitchell Stark bowling at the other end. Obviously, they want to get Bolt on strike. They think about the second. Oh, this is going to be close. Or direct hit, I think, was out. And maybe a little bit better positioning from Tim Payne. Could have had that wicket run out, but BJ Watling gets his half-century, lead up to 259. This could be another boundary to push it over 260. So what kind of a lead is New Zealand going to have? Obviously, Watling's going to hog the strike, you'd think, to give him as big of a lead as possible. Oh, that looks pretty close. Labuschagne with a big shout. Not out. I think there might have been some bat actually there. This time it's out anyway. There's definitely bat through to the keeper. Yes, there is. The finger goes up. New Zealand all out for, I think it's 156. They've got a pretty good lead as well of 260. But Australia, they'll be really, really happy with how they managed to bring this innings back after that big partnership from Taylor and Watling. Was it Taylor and Watling? Yes, it was. Ross Taylor and BJ Watling, they put on 70 for the 5th wicket and then cleaning up the tail for a pretty quick 50-odd. So New Zealand with a target set of 263 for Australia to win. New Zealand require 10 wickets to win, and it's going to be a big start from the Aussies if they are to get over the line here, because it's going to be a hell of an effort. We're still, I think we're still in the morning session of day 4. Shouldn't be too many overs to play out before these guys come from the ground. Top ball to begin us here. Remember, Australia chasing 264. Warner made 175, I think, in the first innings. He's going to play a key part here. He and Burns, they went at a runner ball very early on in that first innings. And if they do that again for 10, 11 overs, it could almost take the game away from New Zealand. It would soften up that new ball a bit and then give Australia a really strong chance at winning the game. But Burns and Warner look like they're taking a more cautious approach today in this second innings. Currently none for 19 from 7 overs. I think they were about none for 40 at this stage in that first innings. And Burns just picking up 5 from 21. Warner on the 8 from 21. So they've taken their time. And as you can see, we are now finished that first session. We're going to lunch on day 4. It's been 8 buys as well. So a few extras here from the Kiwis. But Australia survived that little 7-over tricky period before lunch on the 4th day's play. And now I think they're going to try and cash in. But there's a wicket for New Zealand. Just 2 overs after lunch. No more runs were piled on in that time either. There was a maiden and then this thick outside edge from Burns and a really good take in the slips. It might be Nichols, is it? Over there. It is Henry Nichols. Joe Burns goes for 5. Australia 1 for 21. Marnus Labuschagne now out to the middle. And I wonder how much this pitch is going to deteriorate. Obviously, we haven't seen it deteriorate too much in recent years, but we've got new, I guess, groundskeepers trying to make a different sort of a pitch. There's a direct hit. Oh, it's pretty close. Umpire likes it. The Kiwis like it. Oh, what have we got here? It's very close. It's given. So Warner goes for 8. As you can see, he's well short of his ground as well. Stephen Smith coming out to the middle. Australia's opener's gone after tea without adding any runs. Burns goes for 5. Warner goes for 8. Smith and Labuschagne need to add some scoreboard runs to the total. Smith pulls that away beautifully for 4. Oh, that's nice. That's a good stroke. It's a very Steve Smith stroke, very whippy with the shot. Doesn't drive a hell of a lot. Just sort of whips it. But he can't play a glorious drive. We do know that, Steve Smith. And these two have finally added on some runs for Australia. Since that lunch break, this partnership worth 15 now. Down an edge and taken. So another wicket for the Kiwis after lunch. The game continuing to move at a pretty rapid pace. So all the wickets fall pretty quickly for New Zealand. This one, Labuschagne just not getting a heap of bat on it. And it's through to the keeper for another wicket. Southey's got one. BJ Watling, the keeper, takes the catch. Now Matthew Wade out to the middle, who's struggled under pressure. Oh. So we'll wait and see on how he goes today. Can he score runs for Australia when they require them? I don't think the only time I've played well with Matthew Wade, it might have been one of those Ashes test matches earlier on in the year. I think Wade was required to win the game. Big shout here from de Grandhomme and given. So Australia lose yet another wicket. Matthew Wade goes for not very many. He's going to send this upstairs, so for a review. Oh, I reckon there's 2 noises here. Let me have a look. Oh, yes. Definitely an edge on the bat. Umpire has to reverse his decision. Matthew Wade now not out. Australia back to 3 down. Wade at the crease. Not out now. 5 from 17. Australia bring up that 53 wickets down. Certainly probably not the start they were looking for. Would have loved to probably get 100 runs or so before they lost 3 or so wickets. I think maybe the slowness of the run rate is also added to the Australian pressure. They're going at about 3 runs and over. Given. Another wicket. So Wade with a little edge through to the keeper. This time no review. Santner with a big shout and they've given it out. Wade obviously knowing he's hit it. Hasn't reviewed this one and he's out for 15. So again, not a great innings. Travis Head makes his way out to the middle for Australia. And plays that defensively. Still plenty of overs left today. The Aussies will be thinking these two really need to be there at the end. Otherwise they're going to really make it tough for that lower order, and the Kiwis well and truly are in pole position of this match at the moment. Australia 4 for 78. Smith and Head. Smith's looking good. He's going at about a runner ball. Travis Head, pretty recent to the crease, not quite set in his ways. Of course, Steve Smith only making the 56 runs in total in that first match. Travis Head not even featuring in our top scorers. One shining light, I suppose, for Australia to come is Tim Payne. Was their top scorer. Oh, that's a chance! And dropped! Oh, I reckon that's straight off the glove. Yeah, it is. Oh, just took his eyes off the ball, did BJ Watling. Strange. Chance, and it's going down. Very bizarre. As I was saying, Tim Payne has made 135 runs in the first test. I think he only made 15 or so here in the first inning, so a little bit of work to be done from his point of view. This one whipped from Head onto the leg side. But they do have just a player in form in Tim Payne to come for the tail, and we know how effective they were in that first innings. Pattinson and Stark put on a 94-run partnership for the final wicket. Of course, they'll probably be batting together at number 10 if need be, but both those guys picking up 40-odd. I think Stark ended up getting a half-century to his name, so there is still some good quality batting to come for Australia. Still need a further 160 for victory. Oh, that's just a quality shot there from Trav Head. Through the covers. Beautiful timing. It's all the way to the boundary for 4. Edge. Oh, and dropped again. Oh, dear. And that is the last ball of the session before T2. Travis Head survived 2 dropped chances in that session, as these two have put on 49 runs. T. Now, the challenge will be, can they bat out the rest of the day? Australia will be hoping no wickets lost this session. Worst case scenario, they lose maybe 1 or 2, but if they can put on 80 to 100 runs and lose 2 wickets, I'd still say it's a pretty even game. And that first test went down to the wire. Australia winning it by 1 wicket in hand. Mitchell Stark hitting the winning runs in that one. So a further 140 needed, so they're not quite halfway there. But if these two are in at stumps, you'd have to put Australia as favourites. Oh, a miscued decision from Steve Smith. Wanted to leave this one. It just shaped in and nipped in off the seam as well, and it's hit the top of off. An absolute brain fade from Steve Smith. Trent Bolt round the wicket. Got him. Australia 5 for 123. Was it 129? No, 123. It's Tim Payne, the man we were speaking about just before, comes to the crease. It's a dot ball. So he's under pressure now, the Australian captain. 9 deliveries without scoring, and he's off the mark here. Comes back for 2. Of course, we did say picked up 2 half-centuries in that first test. Hoping to replicate one of those here. If he can pile on 50 runs or so, you'd think Australia would be very close to winning this game. So we have a little drinks break here. Michael Neeser just making sure these guys are hydrated. It's a big moment. This last 15 over session. The last 15 overs, I suppose, of the day. There's maybe a little bit more than 15 overs to go. Maybe like 20 overs. But it's a big time in the game. Big session. Travis Head, 44 not out. Closing in on bringing up a half-century. He'd be pretty confident with how he's going at the moment. Tim Payne. That's a quality shot through mid-wicket. That'll be almost 4. I reckon it will be 4. And he's starting to get his eye in at the crease. So these two beginning to look good for Australia. The Kiwis still searching for that next wicket. They know it'll be so critical to them winning the game. Mitch Santner now back into the attack. Well, the 8 overs, 1 for 24, been pretty economical. Bit of a shout here. And given. So Travis Head will have to go a few runs short of his half century. He's going to send it upstairs. I think he almost has to at this point for the Aussies. Yes, legal delivery. Have a look on the snicko. We saw one given out earlier when Matthew Wade hit the ball. Surely that's hit the bat there, I think, from Travis Head. Excuse me, can we go to hotspot? Thank you, hotspot. Oh, that is hit the bat. There is got to be a big mark in the middle of the bat. You cannot give this out if you are the third umpire. I'm sorry. This is straight off the middle of the bat, but third umpire says no, he has not hit it. And it's going to be 3 red lights. So Travis Head is going to be given out in what is a bizarre decision. Even Mitchell Santner looking like what is happening here. I'm pretty sure he hit that. Travis Head goes. Pat Cummins now to the middle. Australia, a bit of controversy in this test. And as you can see, it looks like it's a fair chunk of the bat here that Travis Head has hit the ball with. But the third umpire didn't see it that way. Pat Cummins and Tim Payne now a lot of responsibility for the Aussie skipper. They need 109 runs to win the game. Still got about 10 or so overs left today. Australia will be looking to not lose any more wickets. Pat Cummins, of course, the Boxing Day test last year, getting his maiden half century in the second innings. Maybe it was the first innings. No, it was the second innings. His maiden half century. I think he got 61 or so. It's close. Ooh. Safely get back for 3. Oh, it's a beautiful drive from Pat Cummins. We saw a few of these last year, as we said, at the G when he was putting on his maiden half century. We were hoping he could go on to get his maiden ton against the Indian attack, but he couldn't make that happen. Is that lead of the Kiwis now under 100. So under 100 for Australia to win. 4 wickets for the Kiwis to win. Who's going to end the day on top here? Edge taken. Maybe New Zealand can finish it tonight. A bowling change to Grandhome into the attack. Australia 7 down for 173. It's Pat Cummins. He goes for 8. Mitchell Starc, he scored a half century in the first innings. He's now out in the middle. And Tim Payne is looking good. That's a quality pull shot for 4. So all of a sudden, New Zealand smell the finish line. And another wicket. Mitchell Starc's going to go. Oh, New Zealand 2 wickets from victory. De Grandhome has worked. He's got 2 wickets in 2 overs. Pattinson out to the middle now. Of course, he also put on 40-odd runs yesterday. 11 overs remaining in the day. Maximum, that is, of course. Could see less than that. Tim Payne needing to steer the ship. Dawn, it's bowled him. He's gone, Timmy Payne. The cross seamer that just hurries on from Wagner, I think it is. A beautiful piece of bowling. Tim Payne. Oh, it's Bolt. Of course it's Bolt. New Zealand have Australia 9 down now. They need 1 more wicket for victory. That's off the glove. Doesn't carry to anyone. Australia 9 for 188. And Pattinson just getting hit here on the body by Bolt, and he lets that through to the keeper, and that is going to be the last over of the day's play. Hey everyone, sorry this is a bit of a late interruption to your broadcast, but I accidentally deleted the day 5 footage. It wasn't very long, so let me get to the point as to what happened. New Zealand took that last wicket early in the last day's play. They won it by like 40 something runs. I don't know, I deleted the I can't check the scorecard because I've already started recording the Sydney test, so it's something like that. Anyway, series tied 1-1. New Zealand won that test. Apologies for the anticlimactic finish. There's your day 5 report. Sorry again. So Australia survive, but only just. They are 9 down for 188. New Zealand needing 1 wicket for victory. Australia still needing about 80 runs for victory. James Pattinson made a 40-odd in the first innings, and Nathan Lyon survived 90 deliveries in the first innings. Just don't forget that for the Aussies. They're in with a small chance, but a chance nonetheless. Australia needs 75 for victory. 76 for victory, sorry. New Zealand require 1 wicket as we head to day 5. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And until day 5, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.